Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the weekend, and I would like to predict the games that are going to be played on Saturday and on Sunday. I'll start with the early kickoff. That's Newcastle versus West Ham. This is going to be a tricky game because of the way the two teams play. So for this one, I'll predict a 2-2 draw between the two teams. The next one, for the games that are going to start at 6 p.m., the first one is Chelsea versus Burnley. Burnley is in the relegation. So Chelsea, I think, will have an easy task beating Burnley. And this one, I'll give Chelsea 3-1. The next one is Sheffield United versus Fulham. This also involved one team that is battling relegation. That's Sheffield United. And I think Fulham will have an easy task. This one, I'll give Fulham 2-1. The next one is Nottingham Forest versus Crystal Palace. Nottingham Forest is having its own problems. They have been deducted points, and now they are in the relegation battle. But also their opponents are also in the relegation battle because they are just above the relegation. So if they keep on losing games, they will end up in the relegation zone. For this one, I'm going to give them a 2-2 draw for the both teams because of the way the two teams play. The next one is Bournemouth versus Everton. This one also, Everton is battling relegation. So this one is going to be a huge game for Everton. But considering the way Bournemouth is playing, this one is going to be a tricky game for Everton, but I will give it a 2-1 win for Bournemouth. The next one is also a huge one for Luton because Luton is away at Tottenham. And this one is going to be a huge game for Luton. If they lose, it's going to be a problem because they're also battling relegation. But this one, I'll give it to Tottenham 4-1. The next one is a big game. It's going to be played at 8:30 p.m. That's Kenyan time. And this one is a huge game between Aston Villa, which is in the top four, versus Wolves that want to be playing in the European football. This one is a huge game for Aston Villa because if they lose it, there are two teams that want to be in the top four or the top five so that they can play in Champions League next season. That's Manchester United and Tottenham. So if Tottenham win in their early game, it means it's be putting pressure on Aston Villa to also win their game. So this one is going to be a big game for Aston Villa. And since they are at home, but also considering how Wolves have been playing, this one I'll give it a narrow win for Aston Villa, which is a 2-1 win. The next game is going to be played at 11 p.m. at night, and this is Brentford versus Manchester United. Brentford has been having problems winning games of late, and Manchester United want to play in the Champions League next season, so they have to fight for the top four or the top five so that they can have that chance to do it. So this one, I'll give it to Manchester United to win 2-1. Then we go to the Super Sunday. Super Sunday. The games that are going to be played now. Super Sunday are Liverpool versus Brighton and Manchester City versus Arsenal. These are the biggest two games that are going to be played this weekend because they will determine who is on top of the table by Monday. That means if Liverpool win in their early game on Sunday at 4 p.m., it means Manchester City or Arsenal must win for them to leapfrog Liverpool to the top of the table. But only two teams can be on top of the table after this weekend if Liverpool wins. If only Arsenal can leapfrog them if they win on their game. But if Liverpool loses, it means Man City also has a chance to go to the top of the table if they beat Arsenal. Also, if Arsenal win, they also have a chance to go to the top of the table. So, guys, these are the biggest game during this weekend, and it's so difficult to predict considering Liverpool has injuries and Brighton has not been having the best games this year, I'm going to give it a 2-2 draw for the two teams. That's Liverpool versus Brighton. Then for the Man City game, I'll give it to an Arsenal win, which is a narrow win of 2-1. Otherwise, people, that's the prediction for this weekend. Hope you like this video. And please comment on your predictions on the teams that you want, the teams that are going to be playing this weekend, and what will be your predictions. Otherwise, thank you. Till next time.